What's up, y'all? I hope you can hear me. I think you can. Oh, goodness. Sorry that I'm late, y'all. But like I said, it was my mom's birthday, so things got a little bit behind. More than I would have liked it to. But that's okay. I'm here now. Welcome, everybody. Hey Freddie, hey Nathan, hey SLJ, hey Nakisha, hey Brooklyn, hey Sandy. How y'all doing? Hey Gigi. Alright. What's up everybody? Welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. Now obviously before we get into things, I just want to congratulate all the cast and crew of General Hospital who won their daytime Emmys. I'll just list them off. The late Sonia Eddy as Epiphany Johnson for supporting actress in a daytime series. You know, she finally got her flowers. Robert Gossett as Marshall Ashford for supporting actor. Ashford. Well deserved. You guys know I like Robert as an actor. I think he does a great job. Eden McCoy as Jocelyn Jacks for younger performer. Congratulations to her. Allie Mills as Heather Weber. I honestly had a blast watching her as Heather Weber. For guest performer in a daytime drama series is what she won. And then GH itself won for best directing team in a daytime drama series, best casting, and we won the big one, best daytime drama series. Congrats to GH. A lot of Emmy wins, I think the most out of the soaps. But I feel like that's kind of been par for the course the last few years. You know what I mean? Okay, what are y'all saying though? And thanks for wishing my mom a happy birthday. Yeah, she's 60, you guys, just like GH. I made that joke this morning as well. People keep creating all these scenarios about Dex's parents. I don't really care about the mom, but like, given his like known history with Pikeman, it wouldn't surprise me if it's Pikeman, and that's we'll talk about that a little bit later. You said you were happy to see Eden McCoy win as younger actress. She's very talented and she looked classy and elegant in her dress. Sometimes I dare. She reminds me of younger Jeannie Francis. So disappointing that Chris and Dan didn't do their homework and didn't mention that Monica was also sued for malpractice with Rick. Historical oversight for sure, but what else is new? This is true. You're an awesome son. Wishing your mom a happy blessed birthday. Thank you, Brooklyn. Freddie, you said congratulations to my favorite soap opera, General Hospital, winning outstanding drama series. Cheers to them. Makes more sense. Positive about what? But yeah, so you know, it was pretty low key. My mom's birthday. We my grandmother took her out for breakfast in the morning, and then I bought dinner in the evening. So, and we all gave her some money, gave her some cash. When I say all, me, my grandmother, my aunt, as well. and some chocolate caramel cheesecake as well. Yeah, it's a bit chaotic right now. Everyone's just kind of getting home and stuff, so yeah. Dogs running around upstairs too. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright, well, I say we just hop right into things. I'm going to try to keep this live stream a little bit shorter tonight just because, you know, I want to have a little bit more time with the fam before I have to go to bed and work in the morning, you know what I mean? But we'll get into all, like, the major points that happened for sure. So, the first thing I want to talk about is Monica Quartermaine's return. Sorry, I can't even talk, y'all. I am very excited to have Leslie Charleston back. I don't think we'll see her too often. I won't lie, she does look pretty fragile. She sat down the entire time, and I'm pretty sure it's for health reasons. You could tell she was struggling a little bit. But the fact that she's willing to work, I think she must be better than she has been in a while. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have. I think she knows herself well enough to know what she's capable of doing. And I think that, the powers that be at GH, they know that the fans have been wanting to see her, wanting to know she's okay. Now she's been on our screens. It's great. A lot of people speculated that her return would instantly be about Bobby. And while I think she'll definitely be a part of whenever they address Bobby's death, which I think will likely be in the new year, it didn't strike me that that was going to be the reason she came back now. So for now, she is gracing us with her presence alongside Tracy Quartermaine, who returned as well this week, by her side to help decide if the hospital would would back Dr. Finn or throw him under the bus with a settlement to save the hospital. And Monica and Tracy, along with the rest of the hospital board, have decided to back Dr. Finn, which GH's lawyer was not too happy about. If I were to guess, I would assume that GH is going to lose this lawsuit and lose a whole lot of money, and perhaps Bobby's money will save GH after she passes away. That's my speculation. I don't know, y'all. It's just that there's so many people talking about money-related problems that, and also talking a lot about Bobby, that I'm sure Bobby has some kind of trust fund that has millions of dollars that might actually help save GH. So we'll see. And then who knows? Maybe it'll help Maxie too, because she's the other one talking about money problems. But that depends on whether or not Brooklyn's plan for Maxie works. So Brooklyn had overheard Maxie talking about her money problems on the phone with Felicia when she stopped by to show off her engagement ring. If you guys didn't know, she's engaged to Chase now. And so it motivated Brooklyn to set her plan in motion to take over the company, asking Tracy for her job back at Deception, so she can eventually convince Tracy to give her the company so that Brooklyn can give the company to Maxie, and only Maxie, by the way, which she shares with Maxie. The one who isn't in on this plan is Lucy, and Brooklyn and Lucy had one hell of a fight. They were just sniping at each other back and forth. I was actually kind of surprised by it because it felt weird that she seems to have it in for Lucy, and out of place a little bit. But yeah, and also it made Maxie uncomfortable because Maxie, she cares about Lucy, and they both worked on this company together. And while Brooklyn is adamant that she wants only her to have the company, Maxie, you can tell she doesn't feel right about it. She's like, let's just wait and see what happens. Let's take things one step at a time. So we'll see what happens there. Sandy said it was so good to see Monica. Yeah, I actually, when the promo came out, you guys, if you were here on Wednesday, I talked about it. When I seen the promo for the week, I actually cried because I was so happy and it was so unexpected. Freddie, you said GH bringing the legendary Monica Quartermaine back after so long was an early Christmas present for me. For me too, Freddie. For me too. It was great to see her, but we won't be seeing her much, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't think we will either. I'm just glad that we've seen her. But honestly, I think for what little we do know about what's going on with Leslie Charleston, I think we all collectively know enough to know that, she's got health problems. She's gotten older and she's experiencing health problems. And but what's also obvious is that when Leslie is willing and able to work, I think that she will, and I think that the show knows that we want to see her. So they're going to do their best to use her in whatever capacity she's available as. And if that's her talking on the phone sometimes, or just sitting in a chair the entire time, then so be it. I hope that she doesn't overdo it herself, because, I do care about her as a person as well. At the end of the day, the reality is that, as much as we want to see all of our veterans, like, be on the show as often as we can, when people get older, sometimes their health takes a turn and they're not able to do as much as they were, and sometimes it's just not realistic to have them being the same way that they were, 40 years ago. It's not realistic. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. To me, it felt very noticeable that she's kind of frail. And I kind of, it makes me kind of want them to somehow mention it, because, we all have eyes, you know what I mean? Like, we see that she's very fragile right now. Maybe write it into the story instead of, like, kind of just placing her, just give us reasons for it. When Anna Lee could no longer walk, they utilized the wheelchair, they kept it in the show, they wrote it in, and it was fine. And if they have to do the same for Monica, then do that. Okay, what else are you guys saying, though? Can it be a Bridget or Richardson situation? What do you mean? Who are they? Where is all this money Bobby came from? Who knows? I mean, Angel, she spent a lot of time off screen. You know what I mean? Like during the Goosey years, who knows what she got up to in all that time? What she inherited, we just don't know how much money she's been putting into her savings. I mean, she hasn't had to, like, pay rent or anything. She's been living at Carly's old house. I just feel like she won't buy much, and she probably saves a lot. And she's probably done so for many, many years. But we just don't know. We'll find out when they acknowledge it, I guess. But I just feel like it's going to be a money thing with Bobby. DG said, we'll see how much Maxie cares about Lucy after Brooklyn turns control of deception over to her. That's true. I bet she'll turn on Lucy in a hot minute. Maybe the old Maxie, but this, the Maxie that we know today is pretty caring. And she's going to feel like she owes Lucy to an extent, because Lucy gave up a lot just to make sure that Maxie had some kind of job. Oh, and thanks, Kawan. I'm so sorry about your mom. Or she's tired and unable to do daytime grind at her age. That could be the case too. Was the daytime Emmy televised? Yes, it was. It was on CBS. I was stuck driving in the rain, one wiper, because the other one snapped on me. Ooh, that sucks. But you're still getting rain in Kansas? In December? It is pretty brown out there. There's barely any snow on the ground, which never happens in December here. Actually, the last time I seen, like, grass in December was, like, 1999. like I was 9 years old. I was, like, 2 years into living here. Oh, it's an HBO show you were mentioning. Maxie should have been running the company years ago, ever since Connie with her mess with the split personality and wanting to be with Sonny. I mean, I felt like Maxie should have been, well, I think you're thinking of Crimson, because Crimson was given to Nina. But it should have been given to Maxie, and Maxie was really the one doing all the work when Nina had no clue how to run a magazine. So, because Julian gave it to her so that she would tank it, and then they saved it. But yeah, I feel like Maxie should have definitely ran Crimson, and that she should have, she should be running something, if not Deception, then something like it, where she can, like, put her whole fashion frame of mind that she once had, like, into, like, the spotlight, and have that kind of bring her to the top of her game. You know what I mean? And Lucy being kidnapped by Victor, and then Lucy over here having lunch with Scott. Lucy is a bit of a mess. Oh, there's a YouTube channel up for it, but no video yet. Perhaps it will be posted there soon. It's interesting, like, when I look at YouTube on my TV, it says that these videos are uploaded on CBS's YouTube page, but then you click on them, and then it's like, it's an error, and I was like, maybe it's because I'm in Canada, and they only show it in the States, but I don't know. But I could see them at some point. It was a bloody rainstorm. I could barely see the road. Dang. Here in Brooklyn, New York, is raining non-stop. Your umbrella is useless. Man. See, every now and then we'll get, like, if it's, like, warm enough, we'll get rain, and then everything turns into ice, and then it's horrible. So I always hope that that doesn't happen in December. I mean, not December, in winter in general. But it does tend to happen, like, a lot closer to spring. Or, like, the beginning of winter. But all right, moving on though. In regards to Tracy, just to rewind things back a little bit, when she first came back, she was unimpressed with Olivia and Lois's decorating skills. And the ladies asked her why she came back, and while she gave them excuse after excuse, it became clear that she just wanted to be back around her family for the holidays, which was really sweet and endearing. Also loved the moment between her and Leo. Leo was sad that Tracy was back because Tracy doesn't like to have fun, and it led to this, like, funny interaction between them. Leo and Tracy, I like their scenes. I really do. And then her reunion with Ned was hilarious too, because he happened to be playing the guitar when she walked in on him, and she thought Lois and Olivia had lied to her. But Ned shows his hand, and of course Tracy jumped into lecturing him about making sure he takes back ELQ from Michael and Drew and make sure they're not running it. So Ned takes the opportunity to use what he knows about Nina and what she did with the SEC to blackmail her into having her spy on Michael and Drew at Aurora. Which is so dumb to me, because as if Drew and Michael are going to share any information with her. I mean, Michael already knows what she did, so he's not going to give her an inch. And while Drew doesn't know what she did, he is dating the woman that got her life messed up by Nina when she kept Sonny being alive a secret from her. So, I feel like this is not the angle for Ned to take. And honestly, anything that draws out Nina's secret longer isn't something that I want to pay attention to anyway. So, expect me to, like, keep any movement, which is not going to be really movement, I bet, with the story to a minimum in these live streams. Because, like, it's just the same shit, different day, these Chris and Dan, they have, I don't know, just the tendency to stretch out the stories that people want to see quick resolutions to, and then, like, making the interesting stories, like, happen in a flash, and then you see it passes by, and then it's over. So, I don't know. I didn't know Serena Baldwin was Lucy's child with Scotty. I only hear Scott talk about Serena. Well, no, like, we've seen Lucy and Scott talk about Serena, like, over the years. The thing that comes to mind is when Lee died, and Serena came back and had scenes with Lucy and Scott, called them mom and dad and stuff. I know Serena didn't come back for Gail, I think. But Lucy and Scott, also talked about Gail, so... What are y'all saying? Nina barely knew how to run Crimson. Maxie had to step in and help her. Exactly. That's why Maxie deserves to... I feel like she should deserve to run Crimson. Deception, like, we have to be realistic in the sense that deception was a thing, you know, a couple decades ago when she was working with Laura and Carly. So it is technically Lucy's baby. Maxie deserves to run her own company. Leave that mess for Lucy to sort out, you know what I mean? Where is Selena Wu? Good question. We haven't seen her in a minute. Hopefully she comes back soon. Alright. Moving on, though. I know that we were talking about, like, Drew dating Carly and stuff, but the way things are going, maybe Carly won't be dating Drew for much longer. With this Brennan / Pikeman guy running around. He keeps basically courting her. He's constantly showing up to Kelly's, and he even tried to ask her out, but she said that she was taken in her defense. Then he's ran into Carly and Donna at the park as well, complimented them both. I think it's only a matter of time before Carly and Drew start drifting due to him focusing so much on ELQ and Aurora, and she'll get lonely and feel neglected and maybe move on to Pikeman. Or Brennan, whatever his name is. Pikeman's the company, right? And sorry if you hear my dog. My mom seems to be teasing him upstairs. Deception was a thing since 1994. Really, that early? I thought it was like early 2000s. Or like late 90s. So Lucy is Serena's bio mom or surrogate. I don't think Lucy is Serena's bio mom, right? Dominique is? Angel, sorry, what? Sorry, I'm zoning out. Mr. Brennan is hotter than Drew. Brock TV ships Brennan and Carly. They have good chemistry. Like, I don't hate them. It's just gonna pull her back into Sunny's world because of this, you know. And it's gonna be a guy that obviously things aren't gonna work out with because she's, you know, he's the enemy of, like, you know, of Sunny and Anna and all these people that she cares about. So, now, to that end, I want to take a moment to talk about Dex because we got a little glimpse into his backstory in a vulnerable moment with Jocelyn. Apparently, Christmases were awful when he was a child. His dad was always a player, always cheating on his mom, and his brothers always beat him up for not being okay with his dad's affairs, I guess. It was a very weird story. But all this talk about his daddy makes me wonder if Dex's daddy is actually Mr. Brennan. Because, first of all, like, since Dex has been on, like, he seems to know Pikeman pretty well, right? He's talked about them constantly, or he's talked about Pikeman constantly, the business. He always seemed to have, or to know a bit more than he let on about the Pikeman company. So it makes me wonder if this guy's gonna end up being his dad, and that would be wild if, like, Dex's dad was dating Jocelyn's mom. It would give me, like, Robin, Patrick, Anna, Noah vibes. Hey, Jacarius. Oh, you said I think it was Lucy's egg. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I've been good. It's my, if you missed it, it's my mom's birthday today. She turned 60, just like GH. Also, guys, I have some other news to share after we're kind of done talking about GH. Unrelated to GH, but some personal stuff I'm excited to share. I just realized Scott has 3 kids. Well, I mean, 2 of them are dead. Logan's dead. Franco's dead. Do you think that Dex... Sorry, I don't know what you mean, Kaiwan. Better just use Dex for character exposition. I don't think it has anything to do with actual story. Chris and Dan just aren't that imaginative, and they don't think far ahead. Honestly, I think that they probably bring in every character with, like, not necessarily a full-on game plan, but like an inkling that, like, could we make him related to someone? And that could be whether it's a new character or old one, but just the fact that, like, Dex has been all about Pikeman since he got here, it just makes me think that that might be the route that they go. Now that they officially have him talking about his dad. Because, like, there'd be no other reason for him to, like, talk about a shady childhood and just focus in on his dad that much if they weren't going to do something about it. You know what I mean? Sandy, you think Brennan might be Dex's dad too? Yeah, I think so. Dex's father is Brennan. I think so too. Yeah, y'all think so? Yeah, I think so too. It's just it's not going to be anyone else. Like, you know what I mean? If they're going to bring it in someone, it's not going to be someone we've known forever. It's going to be Pikeman. Karen Wexler was Scott's daughter too. Yeah, I think so. Either that or he loved her like a daughter. You think Dex is hypnotized? What? Okay, so Karen's dead too. So 3 of his kids are dead. Damn. The scene between Joss and Dex was not any clue to the past. It was just meant to make us feel sorry for Dex. Nah, I don't think so, DG. I think you're wrong here. Like, they're like... If this was just, like, typical, like, GH, like, or, like, typical Chris and Dan, like, she would want a Christmas tree, and he would just be like, nah, I'm not really into Christmas, and, okay, you can put up a tree. Like, that's how they've written Dex and Joss this entire time. So, like, I'll do whatever you want me to do, but, like, I have, you know... I have to be around Sunny for reasons. Yeah, the stories aren't well thought out like they used to be. Like, that's a given, but I just think that, like, with the Dex and Pikeman angle, like, it's so heavy-handed that it has to be his dad. It's been so heavy-handed the entire time he's been here. Like, even before, like, Brennan came on, I was like... Even, like, yeah, like, as soon as, like, Dex seemed to know a lot about Pikeman, I was like, even back then, I was like, I bet it's his dad. You know what I mean? And now it's, like, it almost feels like now that Pikeman's on screen, they're, like, circling back to, like, that angle. Also, the writers have to write for who has contracts. Well, Valentin has never had a contract, yet he's on the show all the time, and they write for him all the time. So that's wrong. There are so many characters that aren't on contract that get so much story, dude. Like, tons. But they just disappear for a while once their story is over. Like, I don't think John Lindstrom's on contract either, and yet they had this whole arc with Ryan Chamberlain and Kevin, so... Yeah, GH is still the Sunny show. Yeah, I want to talk about that in a moment too, but just to kind of make sure I get all the Pikeman stuff out of the way, we need to talk about Dante. So Dante had kept a key that was connected to the lockbox at the train station that Forsyth had put there. So he grabbed it, fearing for his life the whole time. And GH gave us a bit of a fake out where they like slowed down the footage just a tad when a guy was walking by, reaching into his his pocket, and then it ended up being his cell phone. And I was like, y'all, because like all the scenes before that were showing Sam and Dante like really happy, and I was getting the vibe that Dante was gonna either get seriously hurt or die. And I'm not convinced that may not still happen. Like, I'm pretty sure, obviously Pikeman's talking about they need to eliminate whoever has a hold of the files now, and Dante is the one that kind of knows what's going on. And he's, at this point, while he hasn't put 2 and 2 together, he'll be the only one that can figure it out. And if Brennan figures out that Dante's that guy, Dante a dead dude. You know what I mean? So I'm worried. It's just the vibe I get. Like, the Sam and Dante scenes are a little too happy lately. Yeah, no, Valentine has never been on contract. All right. Actually, I want to talk about one more thing before we get into Sunny. Nothing to do with Pikeman. We're moving on from that, though. Christina and Molly. This week they announced to their mom that Christina was going to be her surrogate. And while Alexis stayed very reserved and supportive while Molly was in the room, the second Molly left, she kind of laid into Christina and accused her of being impulsive and not really thinking things through properly, which Christina took offense to, but Alexis assures her she just wants Christina to think about everything that can happen from carrying a child, how carrying a child changes things for a woman, whether it's, health concerns or just like body, her body changes, the emotional part of it, of carrying a child, what the emotional turmoil, could be if she loses that baby, the attachment that she'll get while she's pregnant, when she gives birth and having to give it up to Molly, like how she's gonna feel. She's just kind of going through all of that with her. And Christina, she seems to have, I feel like Christina has thought about it. Like, I think people aren't giving her enough credit in that sense. I think she knows what she's up against, and that she knows that there are unknowns that she is going to have to take as it comes. But I think she, at least for now, realizes that it's going to change her, and it's not something that's going to surprise her. And then later in the week, Jordan paid a visit to Alexis, and it seemed that she had very similar concerns as well, because TJ told Jordan off screen apparently. But Alexis points out to Jordan that they're all adults, so they, as their parents, don't really get a say in this situation. So all they can do is hope for the best and be as cautiously supportive as they can be. Christina also told Blaze that she was going to be Molly's surrogate, and while Blaze was worried, Christina was not thinking about what she wanted with her life. She was ultimately in awe of what Christina was doing for Molly, and it didn't seem to affect them exploring a relationship either. They kissed again. They said that they like this new and exciting motion, and she's glad that the surrogacy doesn't seem to be derailing it, which I thought was a possibility, as you guys know, when we talked about it last week. Knowing Sonny, if Dex reveals his truth about his father being Pikeman, I believe Sonny will take manners and take Pikeman out for good. I don't know, okay, so I feel like if Sonny does know the truth, he's gonna go after Pikeman, but if Sonny does, then I think because it's Dex's dad, he's probably not gonna take him out because he cares about Dex. You know what I mean? Although he'll be pissed at Dex for not telling him the truth about Pikeman. Mind you... No, I was going to say... Never mind. I was going to make a point, but I kind of like realized, no, that's not going to be what plays out. So ignore me there. Anyway, Christina also told Sonny about being Molly's surrogate, and he was pretty supportive, though he wants her to be able to have a personal life of her own. And apparently he noticed what I couldn't and what I think a lot of us couldn't. He had seen some apparent chemistry between Christina and Blaze back when Blaze showed up to the island. And Christina just kind of, was like, she's my friend. This is, we're enjoying each other's company. But yeah, I want to talk about Sonny for a minute, because all y'all are already talking about Sonny, but I want you to, because to me right now, Sonny, I don't even know. It feels like he's really out of character or something. I don't know. Maybe that's not it. There's just something off about him right now. Or maybe it's all the Sonny worship is at an all-time high and it's really bugging me. Because, this week he shows up to the hospital. He wants to fund all the Christmas activities. I'm like, okay. Go for it, I guess. I did like the scenes between him and Stella this week, though, talking about Mike and sharing their memories of him. I almost forgot how close Mike and Stella were. And the friendship that formed between Stella and Sonny was actually pretty endearing during that storyline. They have good friendship chemistry, those two. So I like seeing them share scenes together, and it kind of brings me back to that Mike story a bit, too. But then, there were also scenes this week of Sonny and Donna talking about Grandpa Mike, and they showed a picture of him with the hat he always wore, and Sonny talked about how he lost that hat, a while back, since he moved back into this penthouse. And I thought for sure, Ghost Mike was going to show up, but instead, Mike's hat showed up on a park bench while Michael and Donna were shopping outside of Rice Plaza. And it's not just a hat that looks like Mike's, it's Mike's hat. It has his name on it and everything. I was like, what? Okay. I guess the magic of Christmas, y'all. The magic of Christmas be bringing back ghost hats somehow. Santa Claus is technically canon in Port Charles too, because Spinelli helped Santa save Christmas that one year. So, who am I to say that there isn't magic in Port Charles? There was also vampires, so anything can be true at this point. So I'm going to scroll up and see what you guys are saying, because I think I missed a lot. I understand Alexis and TJ's concerns. Christina is flaky and impulsive. Yeah. In real life, Christina wouldn't have been a candidate because as far as we know, Christina's never been pregnant. Is that a thing? Sorry, I don't know how pregnancies and surrogacy works, so fill me in if that's the case. And if that is the case, then why, GH needs to do better with, their hospital stories. Or, health-related stories. Do some research, y'all. I think he just gotta say, Molly, we need to slow down. Just slow down. I don't see why Blaze should have a say. Christina just met Blaze. Well, and I don't think it's just... It's not that she gets a say. It's just that... I think that... It's just it would change the relationship. You know what I mean? Just when they were about to start exploring. It's a big news thing to drop a bomb on. And, I don't think if Blaze was like, I don't want you to do this, that Christina wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I just think that Christina like had to let her know, because maybe it would have affected Blaze wanting to explore something with her, because their potential relationship would already be complicated as it is, because she's not, Blaze is not out. So a lot of different factors there. Blaze and Christina have the most platonic chemistry in the world for a couple just starting off. True. Jordan needs man or woman. Give her somebody. Zeke just suddenly vanished. I miss Zeke. He was so fine. Sunny worship. He never got used to. Yeah, like... I mean... When I think of the Guza era, yes, Sunny was certainly on all the time. He was the mobster that would never lose. He was the mobster with the heart of gold, all that stuff. But it seems a lot more heavy-handed under Frank, I find. In terms of like, while there's not as many mob-centric storylines happening, and Sunny is not as like prominent, though the writing is definitely very biased with the character. The praise is almost like too much. Like they're putting so much emphasis on all the good he does now, whereas a lot of the times it was just like, yeah, the Stone Kate wing. Or sorry, Stone Kate's wing, like things like that. It would just be mentioned in passing, but now it's so heavy-handed, and like every character is gloating about how generous he is all the time. So I don't know, and like especially Laura, and Sunny also told Laura, by the way, that he doesn't believe Cyrus killed Austin, much to her relief, because she wants her brother to be innocent for whatever reason. She's rooting for him. I just don't know how Sunny got to that conclusion himself, because, I mean, Ava obviously has reasons to believe that it's not Cyrus, even though she initially thought it was, but, like, it would make sense to, like, if I were Sunny, I would be like, well, Austin got him out of jail, but he was really close to Ava, so maybe Austin did something to piss him off and offed him. And also, Sunny learned through Laura, I think, that Dante, or that Austin was going to reveal his boss's name to Dante, but then was killed before he could do it. So my mind would also be like, okay, well, it wouldn't surprise me if Cyrus had eyes in prison, you know what I mean? Or eyes at the PCPD. So, I don't know. Ava seems to think it's Nicholas, and I don't know that for sure. I don't know. I think it's another red herring, and it's probably going to be someone that we don't expect. Or it might as well just be Pikeman too. Just make him the enemy of everyone. But yeah, just when you think that whoever killed Austin was done messing with her, the mystery person left a new note in her handbag, and she was nervous, but she had some peace of mind knowing that, like, well, someone could have slipped it in my handbag in public and I might have not noticed. But then, after Carly had come and gone for a visit, we'll talk about that in a second, she finds, I think, what appears to be the weapon that killed Austin in a drawer with another note in her penthouse that she's moved back into since moving out of Windermere. My guess is that Pikeman also probably bought Windermere. Like, really. It probably, you know what? It's probably all Pikeman. It's probably all Pikeman. I'm guessing it now. That is the speculation I'm going to ride with for a while. Sorry, I've still missed so much. I'll read back to what you guys are saying in a second. But just to mention Carly here. Carly had paid her a visit and got the sense that Ava was hiding something. And she told her, she told her, you know, you don't have to tell me, but you should tell Sunny whatever it is you're hiding so that he can help you deal with whatever has got you on edge. And, she should go to Sonny at this point. I mean, he kept things discreet when she admitted that she killed Nicholas, even though it turned out that she didn't. So, Alright, let me read the rest of what y'all are saying. Okay. Sonny worship is ridiculous. I agree. GH has taken far too much of Sonny's laundered mob money back. In the day, Frank Smith's money caused a scandal that forced Steve Hardy to resign. In anger, pressured from the board. Oh, I don't know that story, DG. Is any of that available on YouTube? Angel, you said SLG. Oh, a person who has a viable pregnancy that carried to term shows the person can carry a baby. In real life, surrogates are all people who had at least one child before. Okay. Good to know. DG, you said, I like Jordan as she is a strong professional woman. I love Tanisha Harper's portrayal of the character. I didn't care about the character until she got in the role. I don't know. I'd like for she can still be professional and find love, you know what I mean? You don't want to put all that work into someone who hasn't carried to term. It's not good emotionally and physically. That's fair and valid. It makes sense. In the early days, GH had medical consultants for the medical stories. Today, the writers write whatever is convenient for the story. You're right about that, and I noticed that. Like, you could tell, like, when... Because even, like, later on, in the later years, they still had, like, medical experts on the show, like, behind the scenes. Probably until maybe, like... I would say, like, just around the time Frank came on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was some stuff that was far-fetched, but when GH wanted to tell, like, a realistic story that involved hospital and medical crisis and things like that, they seemed to know their stuff. And they'd show these surgeries happening on screen and talking about, things going well or not going well in the hospital room, and it seemed like they really knew what they were doing and saying. Now we don't even see that happening, That's an aspect I miss on the show too. Doctors doing surgeries on a show called General Hospital. What a concept. Jordan is too damn young to be a grandma. What she needs to live her best life and have someone in her life because Zeke just ghosted. Waiting for Maurice to retire. He always dangles it in everyone's faces, though, doesn't he? Oh, SLJ. Love the talk between Sonny and Laura. You did? I don't know. It was Luke's involvement with Sonny that led to Luke and Laura's divorce. That's true. Laura shouldn't be his best bud. Plus, Laura is now the mayor, and she's hanging out with the mob boss. Yeah, looks good. This is true. To that end, Laura actually mentioned that to Sonny because Sonny was like, I'm surprised you called me into your office given of how this would look. And Laura's like, I don't care. I don't know. I always... Listen. Jeannie Francis... She has earned her right to take long vacations, and she typically does every year. And, again, she has the right to, but making her the mayor of Port Charles and staying the mayor of Port Charles just isn't realistic, because this woman has spent like maybe 3 months as doing mayoral things and spends all of her other time like outside of the country or outside of the city, outside of the state, doing something else, dealing with something else. Like, we barely see her in mayor mode. So it's a wonder that people want her as mayor, like, in Port Charles, you know what I mean? Like, if I lived in Port Charles and I seen that my mayor was gallivanting across the world half the time, I'd be like, what is she doing for we the people? Laura's not herself like Sunny. She is too trusting when it comes to Cyrus and Esme. I don't know what the hell they brought back Lois for. Her and Sunny talking, then eating pasta. Her and talking to Eddie Main, aka Ned. Now he's back to his original self. She isn't doing much. Well, apparently Lois is going to help Brooklyn get the company away from Tracy somehow. So, you know, I'm assuming we're going to see that come into play. But yeah, I do feel like they're wasting her a little bit. Yes, it's on YouTube. It happened when Luke and Laura returned. It's all there. Is it on that, you know that Luke and Laura channel that's like, it's like Sus's ZQ? I'm Canadian, we say Z. ZQ, I'll say a Z. Do you mean like their 90s return? This is like a 90s thing? Because I know Frank Smith was around in the 90s as well. They should bring Zeke back. I'd love to see him back. It'd be nice to see Taggart. Isn't he the commissioner now? No, he's not. Mac, I think, is the stand-in right now until they officially find one, if it's not him. Taggart, for all we know, is in like a, you know, in a sewer somewhere drinking his sorrows away. We don't know what happened. We just know last time we seen him, he was becoming an alcoholic. Bringing Lois's mother was very unnecessary just because she had an argument with a Russian woman at bingo. You gotta be kidding me, like, for real. Yeah, I think they just wanted to do something festive for the holidays, so they brought Lois's mom as a little treat. One of the reasons Jeannie quit is because she was turned down for vacations to celebrate her wedding anniversary. She was rightfully pissed. Which time? Because she's been off the show a few times over the years. Jeannie is the new Tony. Take those vacations, sis. Yeah. Dante is in hot water if Pikeman finds out Dante got the evidence. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, Dante, like, I think he's in danger, dude. It's good to see Rena Sofer, but she isn't doing that much. Yeah, I love... Okay, yeah, Susie Q. Yeah, thank you. Oh, the 1981 return. Oh, you mean Laura's return. Oh, the fall of 1980. Wait a minute, I'm confused now. Like, do you mean like Luke and Laura returning from their summer on the run? Is that what you meant? Oh, the conclusion of Lovers on the Run too. Okay, now I get you. Alright. Alright, so I don't have much to talk about, and this live stream ended up being just as long as it usually is. But just to mention the honorable mentions, like the little side notes that I have here, because they're not as important. We had Robert and Diane make love off screen for the first time, but we saw the front of Diane's house for the first time ever. But she doesn't seem to have the rest of the set built, so no love scene between Robert and Diane. But apparently it was good. She shouted it from the rooftops the next morning when they were at a coffee shop. And they talked about trying to figure out what they are to each other, just like dating. Like, does she call him the boyfriend, you know, the partner, just going over things like that. And Diane kind of laying down the law of, like, she wants it to be known that she is the number one priority. She understands his relationships with Anna and Holly, but they can't come before her. Something Sam should have done in terms of Jason. When it comes to Sonny and Carly, you know that. The daytime Emmys last night was I thought it was Friday night. The daytime Emmys was a shit show, and GH got best outstanding show for what? A woman being set on fire. Listen, I won't lie. I didn't actually watch the Emmys. I just I didn't, and I forgot to record it. I got there to the recording button and didn't press record because I ended up having to go to a concert that night. So didn't watch it. Just saw the winners afterwards. But to that end, I don't know what the rest of the soaps were like and what they submitted, and maybe that one episode that they submitted was better than the rest of the soaps and what they submitted. I enjoyed the episode, actually. If that's what they put in, like the Holly fake out situation, I actually really enjoyed that episode. It felt like classic GH to me. I remember thinking that, because assuming it's the episode where it starts with her being on fire and not ends with it, that whole episode, we think that Holly is burnt to a crisp, that Holly had betrayed them, and then we see this moment with Holly and Robert and Felicia in disguise, at the ambulance, and she was fine, and then they explained it all to us. I actually really liked that episode and thought it was well done. So I'm not saying did it deserve an Emmy. I don't know. That depends on how good the other soaps episodes that were submitted were. And if you guys can if you guys watched the other three, let me know if you think that GH was the best out of the four. Diane is something else. She is. I love Diane. I love Carolyn Hennessy so much. Didn't need to see Diane and Robert do it. Yeah, I didn't either, honestly, but at least get it, the start of it I wouldn't have minded, them getting to a bed and starting it. Robert been slacking. Diane made it clear to Robert, and I love that scene, especially when she threw the papers off the table. Yep. Diane's hilarious. Blaze is fine with Christina's decision now, but will she keep that energy when times of Christina's not going to be able to go out and hang out because of morning sickness and going all to the doctors? I guess time will tell. I don't know. Blaze, to me, even though she's a celebrity, she strikes me as a bit of an introvert. You know what I mean? She doesn't seem like that I want to go out and celebrate. She seems like a homebody that's down to celebrate inside the living room by watching Netflix and having a couple of drinks. And obviously Christina won't be able to drink, but I don't think that's going to stop them from hanging out in that sense. But we'll see. And after the 9 months is over, Christina will give birth. Yes, she will. Alright. But also, sort of the other honorable mentions, Scotty and Liesl had a talk. And for them it was kind of sweet. Liesl stood firm on them not getting back together. She wishes him well and stuff. And Scotty just makes his way to Lucy after that and invites her to spend Christmas with him and Serena. Ooh. And then also Cody and Sasha, Sasha surprised him, got him a gift, and they played this little game of hide and seek. It was cute, but I don't know. I think Sasha wants to move forward with him, but she's just afraid that she's not spending enough time processing her two major losses. But yeah, I don't know. They're cute, but a little unnecessary to me. And Cody apparently has a gift for her too, but she has to wait for it. It's not been sent yet or whatever. But yeah, those were the other kind of minor things that happened. Ooh, something I forgot to mention earlier when it came to like the Dr. Finn and the lawsuit situation. There was a moment where Amy, Nurse Amy, was trying to find out things about Finn's case, and she mentions that she was, she was around when Finn was dealing with that patient, and Elizabeth encourages her to tell the truth. It's the only thing that she can do. And when she said that, something struck me that when Amy gets called up during this case, she is going to say something that's going to make Finn look guilty, and it's going to cause the hospital to lose the lawsuit. That's my guess of how things are going to play out. But yeah, that's it, y'all. That's all my points. I don't think I left out anything too important. If I missed anything at all, I kind of had to rush through the notes and like kind of reading through and reminding myself what happened this week. But I think I got it all covered. I had to rush again because it's multitasking between, ordering dinner and having dinner and writing the script and everything. So Amy needs to be fired for real. She probably will be if she causes GH to lose a lawsuit. Nina letting Michael blackmail and scare her. Nina too. Well, Ned doing that too. Hey DC. We're just about to wrap up the live stream, but it's good to see ya. Before I go, I mentioned this earlier. I had a bit of a personal announcement. I found out over the weekend that I will be playing a music festival in the spring here in Edmonton at a place called the Starlight Room, which is like, I can't ask for a better venue for my first show. Literally in town. My God. And I'm excited for it. So I'm trying to get a band together now. New chapter, guys. It's all good, DC. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, I'm going to go upstairs, and I think my mom's still awake, so gonna spend like the last hour of her birthday just hanging out watching TV probably. Yeah, I'm Canada based. I'm in Canada. It's just 11 here. Shout out to the gig at the festival. I'm stoked. I'm nervous as hell, but I'm gonna do it scared. That has been my sort of mantra that's been kind of like making me moves in different ways. Oh, my background setup? Just my basement. Oh, man. My little man cave here. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm excited. Listen, DC, there is not a single Canadian I've known in my entire life that says a boot. Not a single one. You probably weren't here for this, but I've definitely had a live stream talking about the stupid questions I get asked by Americans, and that one came up. And you just kind of proved it. Lord, yeah, y'all see, I'm not messing. This is the stupid shit I get asked about being Canadian. Americans think we live in igloos and like they know nothing about Canada. They think that we all talk weird, and I'm like, nah. Like at most, like stereotypically, a lot of us do say a, but not as often as like people think we do. I would say, outside of the country. Oh man. But no, we definitely had this conversation on the live stream about like the weird things Americans like ask me as a Canadian, and that was one of them. man. Alright, but yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. If you liked it, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. This Wednesday, if you guys forgot, we are going to be reacting to Robert Scorpio and his takedown of Burt Ramsey, and also some stories from Night Shift that involved Robert and his cancer storyline, which even Epiphany was a part of, and hopefully I'll get that scene in there if I can. But yeah, see you this Wednesday. Peace out. Mwah. Good night.